Imagine having to reapply for your job every 2 years, and millions of people decide whether you keep it. That is exactly what happens to every member of the United States House of Representatives. Every 2 years in the month of November, all 435 voting seats in the House are placed back in the hands of the American people. But why would the Constitution create a system where an entire chamber of Congress could theoretically be replaced in one election? To understand that, we have to go back to one sentence in Article 1. This is Hacking the Law, where I break down the US Constitution clause by clause, and today we're breaking down the House of Representatives clause. Article 1, Section 2 says, "The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states." But why every 2 years? The House was designed to be the part of the federal government closest and most immediately accountable to ordinary voters. Its structure was influenced by elected colonial and state legislators along with Britain's House of Commons. But when the framers gathered to write the Constitution, they still had to answer one important question. How long should a representative remain in office before having to face the people again? Some believed representatives should be elected every year because frequent elections would prevent them from becoming too powerful, corrupt, or disconnected from the people they represented. But one-year terms were not very practical. The United States was geographically large, transportation was slow, and some representatives had to travel for weeks just to reach the capital. By the time they arrived, learned the issues, and began governing, they could already be preparing to travel home for another election. Others proposed 3-year terms, but opponents worried that 3 years was too long because a representative who became corrupt, ignored the people, or abused his power could remain in office for years before voters had the opportunity to remove him or her. So the framers settled on 2 years. It was long enough for representatives to travel, learn the job, and actually govern, but short enough to keep them dependent on the people. Unlike senators at the time, who were originally chosen by state legislatures, members of the House were directly elected by the voters. The House was supposed to give the people their most immediate voice in the federal government. And we are watching that system operate right now, because in November 2026, every voting seat in the House of Representatives will be up for election. That means voters have the constitutional power to completely change the House every 2 years. Of course, the modern system is not perfect. Incumbents may have some advantages, some districts are not very competitive, and representatives can spend enormous amounts of time campaigning for their next election. But the principle behind the clause remains powerful. Members of the House do not receive permanent authority. Every 2 years, they must return to the people and ask for permission to continue representing them. The framers' solution to political power was not to simply trust politicians, it was to make them repeatedly answer to the people. I am Beloved, and this is your Beloved Brief.